Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are listening to the most electrifying podcast, the Styling and Profiling Podcast. My name is Hollywood Robertson, and my partner right here has got 2 words for you.
What's up? My name is Arthur Persian, and this is the Styling and Profiling Podcast. Before we begin the episode, we're going to feel the grit and the grind with our special guest, the one and the only, Sean Lucas.
Hollywood Arthur, truly an honor to be on the Styling and Profile Podcast today. Football season's over with, so now I get to put on my wrestling hat.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
so
sir.
I've been looking forward to this, so I'm definitely ready to dive right into it as we talk about some stuff that happened in 2023.
Austin 360. Acknowledge me. Hollywood. But I'm better than you. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun. Woo, styling and profiling.
With bringing up Jay Briscoe and Bray Wyatt both passing in 2023. With Jay Briscoe, such a great talent. I will never forget the trio, the trilogy, that they had with FTR, with the dog collar match.
Yes.
2 out of 3 falls match. And then the first one, that's the best trilogy I've ever seen as a wrestling fan. But let's dive into the returns of 2023.
Okay.
I'd say it was filled with returns that people didn't expect.
No.
Definitely didn't expect some.
Yes,
there goes
one.
that question.
But the first one that came to my mind was The Rock. When The Rock returned, I had no idea that was going to come. I was just watching SmackDown, just chilling, eating some popcorn, and I hear The Rock's music come out, and I'm just like, is this like actually real?
That's right.
Like, but I mean, I was hoping that he was going to stay longer and like end up feuding with Roman, because I'd prefer him win over Cody.
Right.
Right.
But you had John Cena, as The Rock and John Cena had a great rivalry, but you had John Cena come back. You know, that just, it's bringing back more so my childhood whenever I see John Cena. It always makes me happy. You had CM Punk.
That's the big one.
That's the biggest one. Can't forget Randy Orton, too, on top of that.
Oh, yeah, trust me, there's some more, man.
Yeah.
Randy Orton was right after it, but CM Punk coming back, man, hell is frozen over.
That's what he said.
That's it.
They didn't have the non-compete clause, which if you're AEW, I don't know why. WWE does win on that factor with contracts, the 90-day non-compete clause. He walks out of AEW, month later, shows up at War Games.
Yeah.
That was big. I mean, that night when I watched War Games, I felt like a 10-year-old kid all over again.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime you
Yeah.
hear that, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, I mean, it doesn't look into, once you hear that first verse of his music, you know Punk's in the building.
Yeah,
He's
yes.
best in the world.
And I didn't expect it
No.
at all. Everybody was saying it was going to happen, but I didn't believe it. I was one of the biggest haters on it. I was like, CM Punk and Triple H are never going to
Hash it out,
No.
right.
No, and they did. and that exact same night, you had Randy Orton come back.
That's
I
it.
know.
And that brought me back to my childhood once again. Like, I mean, I used to hate Randy Orton when I was growing up.
Legend killer.
Because he would always beat up John Cena. I mean, I did not like that one bit. But, I mean, the older I've gotten, the more I can appreciate his passion and his love for the WWE. And, I mean, and after that match, he went up and he went like this, talking about 10 more years left. I was like, man. And then you had Ronda Rousey's return, which I didn't think she would come back either because of all the, stuff that she's caused backstage.
Right.
And you also had Nia Jax.
2 big ones right there
Yeah.
that you just said. Ronda coming, leaving, showing up at Ring of Honor.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't see that coming
yeah.
either.
No, I did not.
Nia Jax, like you said, I thought Nia, when she was released a few years ago, that she was going to go more back into the modeling and other stuff she was doing, that she's been making money. But to bring her back, I mean, she's a good heel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that they have worked with her on her ring safety. I know that's been some of the biggest concern with superstars is can she work safe. But the past couple matches we've seen with Nia, I've been impressed with them.
She's like the Ryback of the women's division.
There you go. I could have said it no better.
I mean,
better.
Ryback would like literally kill CM Punk almost
Yes.
every single match they had. Nia Jax broke Becky Lynch's face.
Oh, that started the run of the man.
Yeah. Well, that is a good point. And I love that whole line going. I mean, her being the man, it's amazing. But you had social media megastar Logan Paul return, and now he's the United States champion.
Who would have ever thought that?
What? Logan, I'm gonna tell you what I like about Logan. Logan has embodied what a heel needs to be,
Yes.
and I have to take my hat off to Logan. Watching the Roman match, when I saw that one at first, I was like, okay, here's a guy coming over, trying to make, some extra money, which he probably don't need it, but, extra money.
Oh, I know you don't need it.
Yeah, he's doing it. And the one thing I can say about Logan that I'm starting to see every match, he takes it serious.
He does.
And his wrestling ability has grown. The Roman Reigns match pretty much shocked me. Because I didn't think we were going to get all of that. But where he's at now, you see a lot of people that's been in NXT or been in the Indies have not been able to gain where he's at now. So
Agreed.
I don't know what he's doing. I don't know who's training him, but he's doing something right.
Can we also add one thing about the Logan Paul? It's about his in-ring ability. You remember that match he had with Ricochet?
Yes.
And they had that spot in the Rumble?
Yes.
Man.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But to finish off returns, we had Carlito. It was a surprise. I mean, I didn't see it coming.
Right.
But I mean, I was pretty happy at the fact that it happened. I mean, he's in better shape now than he ever has been.
Oh,
yes.
I mean, he's huge now. It's just I don't like the character. I don't like the Carlito character.
Should have brought back the old one. Spit on people's
Yeah.
face.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
that's the one-
Carlito
that's
I like.
Carlito.
That's Carlito.
Yeah.
But let's get into the debuts. I'd say that this one was probably the one I anticipated the most, Jade Cargill.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
I mean, that's, in my opinion, that, Lexus King, Brian Pillman, went to WWE. He was the first guy to go from AEW to WWE.
Right.
But Jade Cargill was a bigger star than he was.
Right.
I mean, she was just the TBS champ.
I don't understand how Tony Khan let Jay. I know Jay said she made this move, for a future investment for her family.
Right.
But if you're Tony Khan, Jay was a megastar already. She better not have been where Mercedes Monet or Bailey, but you could get her there. I don't understand how Tony lets her walk out
I agree with that.
without trying to throw the bank to her.
I agree with you. That's probably going to be your biggest female star in the company.
That's right.
The biggest one. Gosh.
I mean, and CM Punk's back on WWE, so it's like,
So right now, 3 of his main stars, Cody, Punk, and Jade, are now in WWE.
yep. But after that, you had Adam Copeland, a.k.a. Edge, going to AEW. I heard about those rumors, and I had a feeling it was going to happen, and
Right.
it did. I just wish that it was like an Edge and Christian together kind of deal.
Right.
Because I want to see the Hardys and them fight again. I mean, they're old, I get it, but I feel like that if it would be their last match to face each other, I feel like it'd be a banger, and I would love to watch the Hardys again.
Now, that was a good steal for AEW.
That was a good
was.
stuff.
Good steal. And you're going to get Beth Phoenix
Yeah,
on a few
eventually.
matches eventually. So that,
Eventually,
you gave up some youth to get a mega star. So, it's tit for tat. But
Yeah.
the one match he's done, I've been impressed with.
I agree. And then you had the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, come back to the wrestling scene. His first few times on air, it was a little iffy, I'd say. I mean, it was essentially just an old man. I wouldn't even say old Ric Flair. It was just an old man. But I mean, the last one that I heard him have, it brought back 80s, 90s Flair. So I'm excited to see that. Hopefully, I get to go to Revolution in Greensboro and see Ric Flair. Then I had Andrade. I love Andrade. I mean, I think that, I heard that his contract's coming up.
Okay.
And so he's been winning all these matches. I think that might be to keep him because I feel like if WWE takes one shot at him, he's there. I mean, Charlotte's there. And I mean, they better utilize him too. But I had the House of Black too.
Oh, yeah.
I love the House of Black. The house always wins. And then, and then they brought in Julia Hart, the now TBS champ. I love the House of Black. I think that they should have had a longer run as the trios champs. Then, arguably, the biggest one out of them all, Jay White and Will Ospreay signing with AEW. Ospreay, in my opinion, is the best wrestler right now.
Ospreay has the most 5-star rated matches in 2023. Big steal for AEW.
Yes, he
to
is.
pull him in there.
And as well as Jay White. I love Jay White to death.
Oh, yeah.
Jay White is so cool to watch in the ring. I mean, he's brought Bullet Club Gold.
Juice Robinson.
Juice Robinson.
That's my man.
Juice Robinson. And then I had Lexus King, of course. I mean, I feel like it didn't get as much notice as I felt like it should have. I feel like it'd have been a lot more notable if he kept his name.
Right.
Lexus King, that's just stupid. You're Brian Pillman Jr. Like,
That's
use
right.
it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mercedes Moné in New Japan, that was big.
That was big.
That was big. And then Bullet Club Gold with Juice Robinson, Jay White, the Guns.
Love the Guns.
I love the Guns too. My pops hates the Guns, but I'm like, come on now. Like, they're just cool to watch. I mean, he don't like the Young Bucks either, but my dad's more like an old soul when it comes to wrestling.
Right.
Like, if it ain't Ric Flair and Steamboat, he don't want it. And I mean, I'm over here like, give me Shawn and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you had Nick Aldis, which I thought was a really big move, where WWE picks him up so he can be an on-screen character. I like it.
I like it, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
Nick Aldis, when I think of Nick Aldis, besides the Magnum run in TNA,
Right.
I think of the 10-pound NWA heavyweight champion.
To bring that up, I saw him in Raleigh at some arena. It was for Ricky Steamboat's last match.
Okay.
And my dad took me, and there was a special. It was Ric Flair and FTR. I mean, Ricky Steamboat and FTR versus Arn Anderson's kid, Jay Lethal.
Okay.
And a special partner, and it was Nick Aldis. And I mean, I was like, whoa.
That's what I'm saying. He should not be, even though he's doing a good job serving as a GM of SmackDown, the man was the 10-pound champion. He carried the 10 pounds of gold. That is still a prestige title in my eyes, because as a child growing up in the 80s and 90s, when you saw that title, you thought of the Ric Flairs, the Harley Races, all of them. This guy needs to be, WWE should be capitalizing and using him more in the ring versus as a general manager.
I agree. And then the elephant in the room, I'd say the biggest one, R-Truth. R-Truth returning. I mean, that made my day. I mean, just seeing him come back and he's on screen every single time I see him now, it's hilarious. You can't not like R-Truth.
Bring back the 24/7 title. That'll make it even better.
And I think that's one thing that Vince created and Triple H is never going to look back
Right.
on. But let's get into the pushes in companies. Arguably the biggest one, the rise of LA Knight.
It all started June 19, 2023, when I was watching the episode of Raw. The promo he said against Logan Paul Ricochet that night, that pretty much got him. I mean, the fans were behind him, but that's what took him to the next notch.
And it's crazy because, I mean, in his first WWE, like, not necessarily main event spotlight, but big spotlight for mid-Carter was with Bray Wyatt.
Right.
And then he was coming out there saying, yeah, and nobody was doing anything. But now everybody and their mom is screaming, yeah, at the top of their lungs. I mean, it's the fastest rise, I feel like, of a gimmick. And I feel like that's exactly how he is in real life too. I feel like with him saying yeah so much, it's
just in there.
Yeah, it's like how his brain functions. But yeah.
That's it. I feel like we got with LA Knight a Stone Cold and a Rock.
Yes.
Mixed together, a Stone Cold ability to get over with the fans, and a Rock ability to be able to put him on the mic with anybody, and he can go toe-to-toe with him on the mic.
I agree.
Can I bring up one point? This is a real life thing about LA Knight.
Okay.
If you just hear an interview, you made a fine point. He sounds just like The Rock when he does the interview.
He does.
If you turn on the TV and you just put LA Knight in the room and you put The Rock in the room, you're going to think it's the same
That's
person
right.
because they sound alike.
I agree.
And the catchphrases like
Everything.
Stone Cold, everything. Yeah, nah, and
Right.
everybody. Yeah, everyone's saying LA Knight. And
But I'd say this is another big one. The rise of Swerve Strickland. I'm excited to see where this goes. On Dynamite last night, it talked about how they're stopping with Hangman, hopefully.
Okay.
But Swerve, right now, he's the leader in the Continental Classic. I really just want to see him and MJF go at it. I feel like a good way to have it would be MJF fights Swerve at Revolution.
Okay.
The Devil comes out there, attacks Max, so Max loses the title to Swerve. And then the Devil comes out there to be Britt Baker. That's what I think the Devil is. But, I mean, you get to find out the whole Devil thing, keep that going. And also you've got Swerve as the champ. But with, I think, Revolution being next year, you still got that thing going with the bidding war of 2024 going.
Right.
So it's just all exciting to see. But talking about MJF and Adam Cole, their tag team, the bromance of the summer.
Yes.
I love Adam Cole and
You
MJF.
you can put Adam with anybody.
You
And I'm
really
starting
can.
to see that even from Ring of Honor, New Japan, NXT, WWE, now AEW, you can pair him with anybody, whether it's Bobby O. Fish, Kyle O'Reilly,
Roger
Bullet Club
Strong.
members, anybody.
Yeah.
And he can just mesh with them.
He can. Judgment Day.
Backbone.
Backbone.
Backbone of WWE
You can't
right
say
now.
Yeah.
that. You gotta say that. You're right.
I mean,
They're nice.
They have picked up the pieces that the bloodline has dropped.
yes.
With
I
them not being
completely
on
agree.
TV so much, they have just been there, and it's the reason why Damien's the Money in the Bank carrier and why they're both the tag champs right now. And Rhea's being the leader of the group.
Right.
Yep.
I put the Acclaimed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everyone loves the Acclaimed. I mean, they're the trios champs right now, but got beat up by the Devil and his goons. But I mean, the rise of them with, you know, Daddy ASS, Billy Gunn. I mean, it was they have chemistry that I did not expect to see.
Right.
Like Billy Gunn, like what does he have to do to match with that? And he does perfectly fine. But Jey Uso with a big push at him. Main event Jey Uso.
Main event Jay.
Can we just get that on this camera? Get down that camera.
Main event Jey Uso. Going along with Jey Uso, the push of Sami Zayn, which was probably the biggest push besides the Yes Movement I have ever seen in my life.
The Montreal promo
man.
that night. I still watch that promo. I still go back to that promo to watch Sammy that night, and I felt like nobody left that SmackDown that Friday night thinking Roman was going to win that
Yes.
next night.
I had a feeling Roman was
I
going to
wanna
win.
get out of-
Because, bro, why would Roman Reigns lose to Sami Zayn?
Hey,
I want to add a point. Let me add a point.
Okay.
This also made me think, like, harken to your point, Sammy was going to win the title. Every championship match you see, the champ always comes out last.
right.
Roman came out first.
And Sammy
And
came
came out last. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm like, why is Roman coming out first? And then you hear the roar of the Montreal crowd. I'm like, Sammy about to pull off something.
That's
that
why I thought it was gonna be the biggest
I
upset.
thought it was going to be the biggest upset because you also got to think, remember with Daniel Bryan, the way how he got pushed to the moon?
Right.
I was thinking Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn. I was like, oh my God, we about to see something legendary right now.
Yeah, but dude, Roman Reigns has held the title for 1,000 days, and he's in it, and they're in Sami Zayn's hometown. Punk would come out at the end if they were in Chicago. It's inevitable from that. You really thought Sami Zayn was going to beat
That
really-
Roman Reigns?
promo that
Yes,
Friday night.
it made
that he
you
cut,
feel-
It gave you something like,
Yes.
we got something right here, and we're seeing a star being made right before
A
us.
star being made, he's older. If he was back in
Doesn't
NXT and
matter.
this was the start, maybe.
He's still Sami Zayn.
He's still Sammy.
And what's Sammy doing right now? Getting beat up by Drew McIntyre?
And guess what? He better come back from this.
That's it. That's right. That's
I
right.
was never a big believer in the Sami Zayn stuff. I thought it was funny.
He didn't win you over in the bloodline.
He did not win you over.
I thought it was funny, but he's not gonna beat Roman Reigns. It's
From-
Roman.
It's Roman,
I
but
know,
they
bro.
had me that night. That Friday night, they had me with.
And then not only that, the theme song changed. If you look back at Sami Zayn's days in NXT, the underdog from the underground.
That's right.
He was the biggest thing in NXT. And then when he came back with that theme song of his, especially when he was in
Yeah.
NXT, I was thinking, oh my God.
This
This
is it.
is it.
This
This is going to happen. They're really going to push the underdog from the underground. Come on, Wood. Come on, Wood. Wood, come on, man.
I'm being realistic here, but I was also being realistic when CM Punk returned. I didn't think he would return.
But no.
But it's in the past. Okay, Sami Zayn did not win.
Let's make one thing.
I mean,
Can you imagine the ticket sales from Sami Zayn if he won that night? Money talks, man.
yeah, the ticket prices would have skyrocketed up if they were in Canada every show. But getting into the biggest hills, I'd say the biggest hill in the wrestling business right now is Dom Mysterio.
Oh, yeah.
Dirty Dom.
Oh, yeah.
And he sucks. That's the thing. Like I don't like him as a wrestler. But and every time he talks, it's a loud boo. And I don't think that it's from the control room backstage.
No, that's fake.
That's
That's
real.
That's audience.
That's real heel.
That's real, and I just want to witness it one day.
If I was WWE booking Don, because he's got the most heat out of anybody,
Yes, he
He
does.
does.
I would put the IC title, the US title right now, on somebody hot, a hot babyface, and have Don win it. by cheating, of course.
Of course.
Dom wins it, and now for the next 4 or 5 months leading up to SummerSlam Survivor Series, have him keep winning the title, but count-outs, disqualifications, anything, and then you get another hot babyface to come take it from him and watch the crowd go crazy.
Yes, sir.
I think that a good way to do this would be with Gunther.
That's
Yes,
it.
sir.
Because hear me out. I think if you go Dom beats Gunther via cheating, then you've got a good feud going on with Gunther
Right.
and his guys and Judgment
Judgment
Day.
Day.
I think that would be pretty big. But after him, I got Christian Cage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Father figures.
Father figures, man. I hate Christian.
He is playing his
He
role.
just, when I went to Collision, he brought up, he was like, we don't have that many goats here. Ric Flair, not here. LeBron James isn't here. I was like, dog, you can't say that. This is Flair territory, and this is also MJ territory. MJ's the GOAT. Don't care where you're from, how old you are. MJ's the greatest of all time.
There's no
Not
arguments
LeBron.
here. No
But
arguments.
ju-
I'm sorry.
what?
Can I add one thing about Dominic Mysterio? About we can talk about Christian Cage, but during Rey Mysterio's Hall of Fame speech, Dominic Mysterio walked out on his own
That's heat.
father.
That's heat.
That is
He
him.
You
worked-
can't teach that.
You can't teach it. He walked out on his own dad. He threw a cup of water at his sister. He's arguing at his parents. The guy is playing his role.
He
He
knows how to draw heat
Yes.
to make you say, we just want to grab this guy.
And
And
strangle.
that's what my daughter says. She hates Dom. And every time he comes to, she just says, I just want to grab him and just shake him down and pin him for the 1, 2, 3.
And Christian Cage, my God, he's cutting some monster promos.
Yeah, but I had Judgment Day as the biggest heel.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I mean, you start out with Judgment Day being Edge, and then you had Finn, you had Damian Priest, but with Judgment Day turning on Edge, I feel like that made them hate Judgment Day a lot more. But adding Dom, I mean, I admire what they do. They're doing good with what they have.
Yeah.
But after that, I had Roman Reigns. Of course, Roman Reigns is going to be up there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he beat LA Knight, beat Cody, beat John Cena,
3,
beat Brock,
4.
3 times in a row.
beat Logan, obviously beat Sammy,
Savage.
KO.
KO.
Okay.
beat KO.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Cesaro at his time in WWE.
Yes.
yeah, Seth beat Seth.
Beat
Beat
Seth.
Seth.
I mean, everybody hates him. I love him. I think it's great for the WWE.
I think WWE did right. We needed a long-term champ, and we got it with Roman. One thing I don't like that I want to see bring back for Roman, bring back him carrying out both titles. If you want to wear the new one, make him carry all 3.
Yeah.
It just gives it that nostalgia of him walking out with the wise man Paul holding both of the titles versus now him having that one title. It's like he's feeling more equivalent to self now.
Yeah, because it makes me think, like, if Roman loses, does the other guy get 2 belts, or is this one belt only made for Roman? Or,
Right.
like,
Right.
what happens? I mean, are we getting rid of the Universal Championship and we're just having the WWE Championship? I mean, I guess that's how it would go because I feel like the Universal Championship is equivalent to the World Heavyweight Championship, so I
Right,
feel like that's kind of why they're getting rid of it. But then I had the Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I loved them when they first started, but I mean, a lot of people hate them now, and I feel like it's more so because of Willa Yuta. I mean, you can't hate Moxley.
No.
Mox is great. He's the backbone of AEW. You had Jimmy Uso, who all of a sudden just came up as the biggest heel for turning on Jay, and you know, he comes out there looking like a goofball now. I mean, with Solo,
Right.
I'm just like, man.
He had so much fire.
Yes, he did.
And it's like now, even with Jay gone, I really thought Jimmy was going to get a more, like I said, serious role. But like every Friday night, he's doing something goofy, whether it's getting super kicked by somebody, taking a finisher. I thought when they got rid of Jay and Jay went to Raw that Jimmy would step into that main event Jay role. You know, when Jay was running it, Jay looked more serious and you could take him serious.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't take Jimmy serious right now.
I
no,
can't
you
either.
can't. No, you can't.
I mean, the only one in that group that you can really take serious is Roman and Solo.
That's it.
Yeah.
I had Ricky Starks. This was kind of a biased one. I hate Ricky Starks so much. Like, like I despise him. I hate the way he walks. I hate the way he talks. I despise him. I mean, he's like a skinny rock.
Oh my! Speaking of, you remember the promo Adam Copeland cut on Ricky
Oh,
Starks?
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my!
I mean,
God.
MJF did it too. Called him a dollar store Dwayne, which is true. I mean, I hate Ricky Starks. And the fact that he's tag team champ with Big Bill, so stupid. Why did they beat FTR? There was no point in that.
No point at all. Greatest tag team ever, FTR.
And
Put it on
I
record.
vouch for that. I think that is the greatest tag team of all time. But let's get into the best moments.
Okay.
All right.
Without a doubt, MJF's legendary run as champ.
Yes.
Saw there.
He's got it all.
He
Yes,
does.
he does.
He's got
Total
the it
package.
factor. He's my favorite current wrestler right now.
Mine too.
But then you had Seth's push as heavyweight champ coming back.
We had one thing about MJF. The dude back in 2015 started off as a tough enough contestant.
He wasn't a contestant.
He was
he didn't even make Tough
He didn't
Enough.
make Tough Enough. Then he was a backstage pun or security for Samoa Joe. I can only imagine if you're WWE right now,
You're looking.
you are kicking yourself thinking like, we had this in our locker room, and now he's one of the, if not
One of the biggest draws in AEW.
Yeah,
In wrestling.
Yeah.
in wrestling.
I mean,
He can talk, he can
it's
wrestle.
It's Flair-esque. I mean, I don't know if this whole bidding war of 2024 thing is like real,
Right.
but if it is, they better bring that money to him because he doesn't care where he's going. He said there could be some rich guy starting up an indie program and we'll pay him $1 billion. He'll go there. He
He'll
doesn't
go.
care. He's just going for the money. But I had Seth's push as heavyweight champ, and with the championship coming back,
Right.
that was pretty big.
The
Gunther's
consolation
run.
prize for not being able to beat Rome is what I call it.
yeah.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Gunther's run.
Yes.
Yes.
Ring general.
The ring. I
That
love
man is sacred.
I love his style of wrestling.
I like what Gunther's doing.
Yes.
Gunther's bringing back that traditional British style wrestling you would see in
Yeah.
WCW back in the 80s with William Regal, with Steven Regal back then. I like what Gunther's doing. I'm glad they gave him a run to beat the Honky Tonk Man's record. Because now when you look at Gunther, you take him serious.
Very
I
serious.
just wish that it was The Miz that had the longest reign. Shout out to Christopher Walston once again, but The Miz should have had the longest reign. And then he got beat like the day before by Seth Rollins in a squash match. Honky Tonk Man should not have been the longest reign.
Right.
There should have
Right.
been someone before
Right.
or after that to have beat him. But best moments, without a doubt, I think the best moment of 2023 was Sammy versus the Bloodline.
Oh, yeah.
God, yes. That,
Sammy carried that.
yes, he
He
did.
carried it.
And we were just talking about, we thought he was going to win.
And you got Sammy down there. You
Yeah.
just talking about
We just
Sammy.
talked about Sammy.
I
Yeah,
see.
what's up?
It
We
was-
see the Sammy love.
I know.
It was funny, but I don't like him.
You're not feeling too oozy. That's the thing.
That's it. He's
They're
not
not
feeling
feeling
too
too oozy.
oozy.
Yeah, you're not feeling oozy.
After that, I had the Sammy and Kevin Owens reunion.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll admit I like that because it just brings me back to Kevin Steen and El Generico back
That's
in Ring
it.
of Honor. I'm glad, but I don't like the fact that they're not together now. They're on two different shows.
I don't because I want them to stay together. And, you know, speaking on that, that was a big accomplishment both of them did night one of WrestleMania. Not only beating one of the greatest tag teams in WWE, the Usos, but two guys who cut their teeth on the indies.
Right.
You know, not homegrown. When you think of WrestleMania main events, you think of homegrown WWE guys main eventing.
Right.
The Romans,
Austin.
The Rock, Stone Cold.
Hogan.
Right. But
Cena.
Shawn Michaels, stop.
But you got
Baker.
guys like Sammy and KO, PWG, MLW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, main event that was big for them. And big for a lot of indie wrestlers know that, hey, it can be done.
yeah,
Yeah.
I completely agree.
And the pop they got when they won the title.
yes.
The
Oh, yeah.
pop.
I'd say
SoFi Stadium came alive.
I'd say it didn't really surprise me. I had a feeling Sammy and Kevin were going to win.
Let's do it.
No, I mean, because that's why I didn't think Sammy was going to win against Roman, because I wanted to see Sammy and Kevin beat the Usos. Because I felt like that was way more realistic. But some people might hate on this, but I say Ric Flair returns with Sting. Anything that Ric Flair or Sting is involved in, I'm always going to be
It's
open
gold.
ears.
It's gold.
It surprised me when they were bringing up the fact that he was going to have former people coming throughout. I still think we might see Lex Luger somewhere in there. I don't think we're going to see Hulk Hogan, but I'd love to see Lex Luger come back. Punk's return in both companies.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not believe he was going to come back to AEW, and for sure did not think he was going to come back to WWE. I mean, he's just he's a cancer in the locker room, I'd say. So I really wonder what's going to happen with this coming up. But Roman's historic 3-year reign.
There's no denying.
It will never be done again.
Never be done in our life.
It
Never
better
be-
not be.
Nope.
I can't think of anybody that deserves to do it.
And not only that, with that long time, it brought back the prestige.
Right.
It really
it
did.
brought back the prestige of a championship. It really did. There's no denying that.
And then another biased one I got, Swerve versus Hangman's feud. That Texas death match,
That was
the
good.
best death match I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he stapled him
Oh,
and drank his blood. Like, what?
this is a kids' show. What I was told.
Can I throw one in there?
No doubt.
A match that a lot of people forget about this year. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest.
Yes.
In Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
got that in my best matches. That was huge.
That was,
Dame did the job.
uh-huh.
And I mean, if you're Damian Priest, you're probably going to like, I don't want to lose to Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny came out and probably wrestled one of the greatest matches for a hip hop artist
Yeah,
ever. It probably will never be duplicated ever again.
I completely agree with that.
You're right.
When he came out there with his song, I mean,
Yes.
everybody was singing
Oh,
it.
Oh my
man.
God.
I thought it was huge. I mean, and the match also was just great.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of matches, we're going to go into them. My favorite match, Ospreay versus Omega at Forbidden Door.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
5-star.
5-star.
6 stars.
Yes.
That is a really good match. The storyline, great. I mean, the match, great. The spots, great. I mean, there was nothing there missing. Everything was perfectly placed. And, I mean, usually I can't stand long matches, but, I mean, I was on the edge of my seat the
Right.
entire time. And it was huge, but I'd say Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania.
It was.
Yeah.
Nobody thought Cody was going to lose.
I didn't think Cody was going to lose.
I
that.
promise you.
I didn't think Cody was going to lose either. I mean,
Everybody thought this was
The
it.
story's going to end.
It's going to end.
Yes.
He's going to walk out holding the title his daddy never held.
Yep.
Everybody leaving on a high note.
In California, SoFi
Right.
Stadium,
Everything was built for that.
booked for it.
and
did.
I was just surprised, man. I was surprised because I was like, what are they going to do to him now? And it kind of brings back like Super Cena in the
Right.
2010s where like, I mean, he got into a feud with, I don't remember who was first. It might have been Dom first and then Brock. But when he got into the feud with Dom, I was like, they're not going to bury Cody now, are they? Please
Right.
tell me no.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's got something going on with Shinsuke right now that I'm on the edge of my seat for.
And they're doing good with Cody. You know, they're keeping him. When he won the tag belts, I said, okay,
Yeah.
we're getting ready to start shifting now, getting him out of the scene with Roman. But they're doing good with keeping him away from Roman till the right time.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to win the Royal Rumble?
That's
It's hard.
Because CM Punk is
You got
in
Punk in there.
Here's the thing. I don't
And you
want
got
Punk.
LA Knight in there.
I don't want Punk to win. I don't like Punk.
Punk's going to win.
Punk.
He's gonna
It's
win.
all about
Then
the
you think Cody's going to win Elimination Chamber?
He's going to have to.
You're going to have to.
Punk's going to win it. It's going to Punk.
And then I know he's going to beat Seth Rollins. I don't want to see that. I
yeah,
didn't even like watching Punk in AEW.
Seth's
He's
going to sleep.
old.
He's going to sleep.
It's going, yep.
But I also put any swerve match.
Can I just add this about Cody Rhodes Roman match? You remember the reaction that night? The crowd was dead silent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we did, like you all said, none of us expected Cody
No.
to lose. That crowd was dead. Like you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
It was shocking.
I mean, when it happened, I kind of laughed. I was like, no way.
What would he be? That's what I said. I said, they really?
Because when he hit him with like the 3 crossroads, I,
I said,
was
it's
like,
over.
It's over.
It's
It's
over.
over. It's done. Ball game. And then the Usos start to come in and all that stuff. And I mean, and it was great that you get to see Kevin and Sammy come out there too. But bias, once again, I put any swerve match.
Oh, yeah.
Any swerve match is going to be great. I mean, so that alone, I'm putting the Swerve and Hangman match. Okada versus Danielson for the greatest wrestler, whatever,
Anything Danielson's in is golden.
no doubt. But with Okada being in it, like I was like, this is looking a dream match for me
Right.
because I mean, I've seen Omega and Danielson. I haven't seen Omega and Sabre Jr., which ended up happening. But Okada and Danielson, I think he broke like his hand or broke something back here in that match. But Danielson picks up the win for it. And then right after that, I had Danielson versus Sabre Jr., the battle of the best technical wrestler. I mean, I thought that was a great match. Most people don't like those kind of matches. They prefer like big spots.
No.
But I mean, I can sit back and completely enjoy a good technical battle.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, without a doubt, I think Danielson is the greatest technical wrestler of all time. I'm not saying Bret Hart, because I don't like Bret Hart. I'm a Shawn Michaels guy.
Let's see. You got a few more out there. Danielson's in the top 5.
You got to put Kurt Angle in the
Got
top.
Kurt in there. Hey, the model Rick Martel. Before he was the model Rick Martel, he was Rick Martel. Territories.
Yeah. That's,
Man,
It's a lot of
Yeah.
technical wrestlers out there.
Danielson's the greatest technical wrestler
What about
ever.
Cesaro?
Yeah.
You forget about
Not
Cesaro.
better than Danielson.
Antonio?
I'm telling you, I was thinking, I had a hot take last week. I said Cesaro's got to be the most underrated wrestler, if not all time.
Of all time.
Got to be the most underrated.
William Regal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, William
Oh,
Regal.
yeah. He's number 1, top of the list.
Exactly.
But
Top of the list.
yeah.
Top of the list. Can't even lie.
I said, if not number 1, he got to be top 5, at least.
Exactly.
Top of the
Cesaro
list.
is 5, but Regal's number 1 for me.
He should have won title.
Getting back to the FTR, I had FTR versus Juice and Jay, best 2 out of 3.
Oh, yes.
Collision started out really hot. They had good matches at the beginning, and one of my favorite ones is the FTR versus Juice and Jay, best 2 out of 3. I mean, that was almost like an hour-long match.
Yes.
And I enjoyed the entire part of it. I mean, I didn't think that FTR and then Juice and Jay would be able to do some of the things that they did during that match. And I mean, it kind of brought back like the vibes from the Briscoes. And speaking of the Briscoes, they're having a match. It's going to be FTR and Mark Briscoe versus some of the Blackpool Combat Club guys at the next ROH pay-per-view. I really want to see that too, but am I going to buy tickets, or not tickets, am I going to pay to watch Ring of Honor, or am I going to pay to watch this next AEW pay-per-view with MJF and Samoa Joe? So it's like I got to balance out my bank account. But once again, Romy versus Sammy at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
That's
see.
it. Hey, that's third one.
That's the
Hey.
third time.
Who won?
Roman. But we all
Exactly.
were thinking.
Who won the peep over?
Yeah,
Sammy.
Sammy.
You left out that man saying, and I have a cousin, not a Sammy fan, kind of like you would,
Okay.
not a Sammy fan. He left out that match, you know what he said? Man, that Sami Zayn guy, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
He had me on my seat there last night.
When he hit the haluva kick and the Superman punch, I hopped out of my seat. I'm not gonna lie.
I was like, bonkers.
I was going crazy. I thought he was gonna lose.
I was literally laughing the whole time, telling my dad, watch this. Telling my friend Christopher, watch this. 2 count, 2 count, 2 count, 2 count, 2 count. I mean, I knew Roman was going to win. It's Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn, dude. Like, there's no... Why?
The underdog doesn't win no more, what you saying?
No. Not over Roman.
You'll be surprised.
You'll be surprised.
You'll be surprised.
I had Usos versus Roman and Solo Sikoa at Money in the Bank.
Biggest match of the year.
Roman's first loss.
Jay Pendle.
Jay.
Yeah.
That was
That was huge.
that was big for Jay. That was big for Roman.
It was.
Roman's mortal.
Right.
Yeah, it really brought him back down to earth. I'd have Usos versus, well, I already said that. Bad Bunny and Priest,
Yes.
obviously.
Yes.
And then another one that most people wouldn't agree, I'd say Flair versus Ripley at WrestleMania.
That
was a
that
good
was
match.
That's what kicked Rhea off.
Yeah, it
Because
really
Rhea
did.
right now is on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Without a doubt. Her winning the Royal Rumble and then facing Charlotte at WrestleMania, huge. I mean, I enjoyed every second of it. And then my favorite match was 2023, Gunther versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus at WrestleMania.
Yes. That was a
That was a
dang good match.
brutal match. And I mean, and it lived up to the entire anticipations that I had for it. Gunther is going to do what Gunther does. Sheamus is going to do what Sheamus does.
Right.
He's been going pretty good.
Physical match.
I mean, if you remember that match that that Sheamus had with Gunther at Clash of the Castle, that was a really good match.
That's a
to
good
start out the
match.
Pay-per-view.
That's considered a match of the year candidate in
It was.
2022.
I would like to see how many, because I got 2 other Gunther matches. Chad Gable versus Gunther on Raw.
Yes,
Ooh,
That was
yeah,
big.
that was a good
I
match.
thought Gable, and once again, another one, you thought Gable was going to win it.
I did.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they're taking, Gable to me has always been a great technical wrestler. Just when Vince was in control, he saw Gable more as a comedy relief.
Yeah. Like
Versus-
Shorty G. Like,
Right,
Shorty
versus
G.
now with Triple H, you start to see a better version of Gable, what we've been wanting to see. Miz and Gunther. I mean,
Yeah.
I wonder how many Gunther matches we can look at and say these were top matches of the year.
Agreed.
Yeah, there's a lot
Agreed.
of Gunther
And I
matches.
mean, his Royal Rumble match.
Right.
When he was in the Royal
71
Rumble.
minutes.
Cannot deny
At that big a size, unheard of. Was there anything that truly stuck out to you for 2023?
There was a lot of matches on I was just looking at Sean's notes from here. He's got a lot he wants to get off on his notes, but I'm just going to give like just maybe one. And last week we were covering NXT. That War Games, and I know
Yes.
I'm just going to tell you one thing. 10 years from now, we're going to be talking about Braun Breaker as the big guy in WWE.
He's the man. He's
He
the
is the man.
future.
I'm
He's the future.
Sure, you got Trick Williams. Sure, you got those other guys. But Braun Breaker going to be the guy in 10 years.
He's the future.
He is a
And
future.
the thing is, that is a Steiner. A
Yeah,
Steiner. That's a Steiner.
He is a Steiner. He is a Steiner.
That's just one thing I want to say. But I'm looking at Sean's notes, and I know he wants to go off on some of these notes. So
Go for it.
take-
Well,
you
I
got the
think we-
floor, sir.
Well, I think we covered everything I had in my notes. I think there's only two things that I can think of that I saw. You know, TNA, Trinity coming over TNA, win the title.
That's a good
That
one.
was big. And one of the biggest things I thought, you know, we talked about on the show already, LA Knight.
LA Knight.
Walking out during Roman Reigns' entrance on SmackDown.
That was big.
When he did that, I was like, okay, we got something with this
Yeah,
guy.
we got something cooking.
And he sat at the head of the table.
Yes, he did. He
sat
said
at the head of the
He
table.
did. He did.
It's something special with LA Knight that I hope Triple H does not drop the ball with.
Me too.
Because right now he's got the fan base behind him. He's selling tickets, selling merchandise, and he's just got that it factor.
I mean, I'd say the only thing that's stuffing him from main screen time is Punk. Even
That's
though
it.
they're not on the same show, I mean, more people ain't going. I mean, even on both shows, people are still talking about LA Knight. People everywhere is talking about Punk,
Right.
which I hate. I hate seeing Punk.
Let's all say one thing about this wrestler. They see something in Austin Theory. I don't know what they see. They got him with the Rock.
great.
They got him with the Rock.
You don't like Theory?
There's something with Theory I see.
Theory can talk.
He can
In,
talk.
in
talk.
5 years, Theory will
That's-
be
He's
a-
gonna be
That's
the new
what,
Miz.
that's what I'm saying. And there's something going to be big for Theory. They got to talk about this guy. They put him with The Rock. They put him with Cena. They put him with Austin.
They put him with Edge.
They put him with Edge. They put him with the biggest stars the company's ever produced. Cena, Rock, Austin. And you shared the ring with all of them.
I'm excited to see what they got going with him and Grayson Waller.
I was just about to say, Grayson Waller.
I like Grayson Waller.
I do. I wish they would quit burying him.
Me too. I mean,
The guy's got the best, coolest finishing move ever.
yeah, 100%. I can't wait to see what they got going. I mean, I just feel like if they both were to be faces, they would be the tag team champions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't wait to see what the Creed brothers do to the Judgment Day. I like the Creed brothers.
Yeah.
They pushed them real fast.
They really did.
I mean, they came out in NXT, which they're good. But they came out in NXT and skyrocketed. I mean, to knock off the New Day, it was kind of big for me. 'Cause I really didn't think they were going to knock New Day off in the
Me
gauntlet
either.
match.
I didn't think that I thought DIY was going to win
Right.
originally. But I'm kind of glad they didn't. I just don't see them touching Judgment Day. But
No.
like with the Creed brothers being as physical as they are,
They could go with it.
I think that they can get it. But I really want to see Austin Theory and Grayson being faces and beating Judgment Day.
And then we got also a Cody Rhodes match with Brock Lesnar. Like that was big when
That was big.
That was big.
After the match with Brock Lesnar.
Which one, the first or second one?
The one where Brock lost and he gave was passing the torch to
Oh,
Cody
yeah, I
Rhodes.
thought-
That was
That's
like,
big.
yeah, it's big. Like, that makes you think.
I saw the one, the first one, where Cody drops Brock on the turnbuckle and he opens his head up wide open. I mean, I was there with Christopher Walston, one of my friends, and we were just like, we don't see Brock bleed like ever. And I was like, that was serious. And I mean, and it opened my eyes. I was like,
And then we
they're
also
actually showing color on WWE TV.
Right. And we don't get
Yeah.
color.
no, we don't get
Nope.
color. And another thing that we also got added was Jimmy Uso, and I know he went and turned on Jay, but when he super kicked Roman during that event,
That's big.
that
was big.
that
was
made the
big.
world pop. That was like, especially the way how they sold it, made you really believe in that moment. 'Cause
Yeah.
The
I
eyes
agree.
of Jimmy Uso when he kicked Roman, out all that frustration, like, oh my gosh, the bloodline is about to fall apart. Like,
I wish we could have kept the bloodline together just a little
too.
bit longer.
And
Which
I wish-
Jay was breaking out.
Yeah.
And you had to turn him loose because he was becoming the breakout character after Sammy was out. But could we just kept it a little bit longer to get them versus Judgment Day at Survivor Series?
oh yeah.
I would like
yes.
to pitch to you guys what I think is going to happen with Roman or how I would book it. I think that Roman should drop the titles. I think that he says that no one can beat him because of the way he's been built up. the only person that can beat him is himself.
Mm-hmm.
So he drops the titles, and then have like a whole tournament going on for it. That's how I think it should go. Because, I mean, it still keeps him as hot of a character as he was.
Right.
But it also gives him time to, retire. I mean, I heard that he was thinking about it like a while ago.
He is.
I mean, he had the whole leukemia stuff. I mean, he's had one heck of a career. So, I mean, I'd keep his pace as is and just drop the titles. And, I mean, the first person that I think that should have the title is Gunther. I mean, that's the next dominant person that I can see.
It is.
When you drop the titles, you're also thinking about you also going to rob a potential, oh my God, moment for an upcoming star.
A big pop.
Yeah.
A big pop. You got to also think about that.
But, I mean, he's beat Cody. He's beat Brock. He's beat John Cena. What guy would beat him? The only person in wrestling that I think would beat beat Roman Reigns is John Moxley. That's the only person that I would think would beat him. I don't think Kenny Omega would beat him. I think Moxley would. I mean, because you also think about it, there's a bloodline. There's a Blackpool Combat Club, and they will kill. So I have all the faith in the world that Moxley would be the guy. But I just don't see it happening.
We got December. WrestleMania is in April. Give Triple H 4 months to write a story. Give him time to write a story. He'll make you think, and then we're going to be sitting here again and like, is this, because it happened to all of us. The way how they built Cesaro. Cesaro had a chance to beat Roman Reigns.
Right.
Edge, Cena, Lesnar, KO, Sam. We all were sitting here and thinking,
this person could be the one.
this could be the one.
Especially KO. Then Sammy. And I thought Cesaro, Cesaro was an underdog, put it on Cesaro.
Yeah, they made me think Sammy was going to beat Roman.
That Friday night.
Why do we keep talking about this?
Because
that Friday night.
my point is, if they made us think Sammy was going to beat Roman,
They made y'all think, not me. They didn't do a good enough job.
So they swerved us.
They swerved us. What
They didn't swerve me.
What if they get Braun Breaker out of NXT?
Braun Breaker's not gonna beat Roman Reigns, dude.
The way how they built him, though.
No, he's in NXT.
You don't know. Royal Rumble's coming up.
Gunther.
All right, so tell me this right here, okay? Braun Breaker lost to Carmelo Hayes.
Yep.
Right.
Carmelo Hayes lost to Dragunov.
Right.
You think Dragunov or Carmelo Hayes is gonna beat Roman Reigns?
No.
Nope.
Exactly.
They got to build them.
You
Give
can't.
him
Good
time.
storytelling.
Yeah,
You
but
got
here's the thing,
storytelling.
dude. You're gonna have to build up more. And I mean, it's gonna take him a while to get built up to that status to beat the guy that Roman Reigns is now.
We got 4 months.
Man, nothing's gonna happen. The only guy that's gonna beat him is Cody.
Or Punk.
Or Punk.
No.
Punk.
Punk's gonna go for the
Or
heavyweight
Or
championship.
McIntyre. Or any of these
McIntyre,
guys.
Bro, I'm tired of McIntyre.
There's a lot of guys you can think who can beat Roman. They got
McIntyre did it.
they
KO
got
took it to the limit.
they got
He did.
4 months.
That's right.
4 months.
4 months.
No, they got this month of December. They got January, February, March. They got 5 months, almost half a year to build a guy up.
That's it.
Give Triple H time. We're gonna be sitting here thinking, is this?
We thought it was LA Knight.
We thought it was LA Knight.
I didn't.
We
It's
thought-
Cody. It's always
Well,
gonna be
we know it's
Cody.
Cody.
We know it's Cody.
It's
But-
always gonna
But
be Cody.
They're gonna make us sit here and think and question.
They make
It's
y'all
not question
think.
that.
Man, anybody that Roman has beat, I have not questioned it one bit. I still think that Cody is going to be the guy. Okay?
On Thursday, December 14th at 3:25, we're gonna dock this.
Make a prediction.
I'm making a prediction. I make this prediction. This guy right here is going to say, I think he might be the one to beat Roman. We got 5 months.
About who?
That's anybody. I say it's just going to make that. They're going to plant that seed in your head. That's all. I give them 5 months.
It's gonna be Cody.
Well, Paul Heyman always say that's not a spoiler.
Or what if Paul Heyman turns on Roman?
CM Punk. What did CM Punk say last week? He was my original wise man. I'm telling you.
You're just saying.
No.
The seeds are being
They're
planted.
planted.
They're planting them.
Yes, they are.
You got to start watching it when they're planting the seeds.
But
for
it's
us.
gonna be Seth and CM Punk at
Well, we know
WrestleMania.
that's what they want.
Punk is not gonna be the guy to defeat him because hopefully somebody's already beaten him by the time
They hit the Punk himself.
What
I
if
mean,
Roman?
nah.
What if
man.
Roman gets pinned between now and then? He got pinned at Money in the Bank.
Uso.
It was Jey Uso.
But-
Jey Uso ain't gonna come back and fight him no more.
What? Someone can pin it. It could be any and anybody.
Yeah, but Roman fights like twice a year. Yeah.
Big four.
Yeah, like there's no chance. I mean,
We will see.
next match is Royal Rumble. I think this is my prediction. I think he's gonna end up fighting Randy Orton at Royal Rumble. And who's gonna win? Roman.
Yeah.
Who's gonna win Royal Rumble? Punk. Who's gonna win Elimination Chamber?
Cody.
be a
Who's
triple
gonna win at
threat.
WrestleMania? CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, the two AEW guys beating two of the WWE's biggest guys. That's funny to me.
Well, they have a triple threat.
They're not gonna do that.
What if? They had some big triple threat matches at
Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and Batista.
Batista.
Yeah, but I don't like that match because it's like I want the spotlight to be on two people, and I can watch those two guys. I want it to be completely fair, and I want Cody to completely annihilate.
Yeah, if you're going to
Yeah.
make Cody beat him, it's got to be one-on-one.
Yeah, it's got to
Yeah.
be one-on-one.
But
It adds another element.
it does. I mean,
CM Punk,
you can't keep putting out LA Knight and Punk
No.
with them around. Those are the
Yeah.
three hottest ones right now.
Yeah, I agree. But with that being said, Sami Zayn is not over. Sami Zayn is not getting a push anymore. Sami Zayn is done.
For now.
The Zaniacs are done.
For
Okay.
now. You're just not
Bro.
feeling Uzi.
That's the problem.
You're not feeling Uzi today. I don't know what it is.
This is Silent and Profiling Podcast. Arthur, tell him goodbye.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Styling and Profiling Podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This podcast, every new episode drops on Fridays. And Sean Lucas, thank you for joining us. Anything you want to say before we head out?
Hey, thank you guys for having me on Style and Profile Day. I truly enjoyed it. Look forward to coming back up here later on throughout the year. And also, we want to thank everybody for tuning into the Grit and Grind Sports Show podcast throughout the season. We'll be back 2024, breaking down more high school football. And it was a pleasure being up with you guys.
And the number one team they will be focusing on is the Faith Christian Patriots.
Right here.
Army who? Sorry. But with that being said, I must bid you adieu, goodbye, and good night.
On a style, woo, and profile.